bike to Santa Barbara. I was riding freight at the time and was thinking of what to do next, kind of in some idle time in California. At any rate, she contacted me and brought up the idea of building a boat. And
the two guys, I know you've talked with them. They are both pretty much world travelers. They've got a lot of traveling experience, and Miranda, as you probably have heard, has ridden a bicycle from Sarasota, Florida to Los Angeles. So she's really a determined and focused traveler, and Victor has traveled all over the United States. He's an amazing photographer, taking photographs while hopping trains and doing other adventurous things like that. So these are not just, while they're not experienced sailors yet, they are experienced travelers, and I think they're going to be learning a lot about sailing in the coming months. They both have the bug now. They both love to go sailing, and they did sail with us all summer on the OK Clark and on the Skajaqua down out of the Erie Basin.
Well, luckily we have Roger Allen, who's been absolutely amazing, and as a teacher and mentor, a phenomenal person.
Roger's teaching style is very hands-off. You know, when I first started, when I had absolutely zero foundational knowledge and was alone, he was like, okay, well, you're gonna reinforce the bottom, you're gonna use that wood, you need to make them fit like this, and then he would just leave. And I wouldn't see him for hours, and I'd have all these questions, and I'd be like, all right, well, after searching for him, I'd think, okay, well, I can either sit around twiddling my thumbs or just start working, and if I make mistakes, then at least I'll learn from them. If we mess it up, his response is usually, oh, that's interesting, I see what you did there.
So the boat that Miranda and Vic are working on is actually an old windmill, which was originally designed by Clark Mills down in Florida. So it's appropriate that they are Florida children working on a Florida boat to take to Florida. The rest of the design of the boat, there is no real design, it's more of an evolution. The concept for the Microcruiser, which is what the boat is actually based on a great young, I think he's young, naval architect, boat builder by the name of Matt Layden, who is pretty famous among small boat sailors for doing the Enigma Microcruisers.
Here's Jezebel, beautiful Jezebel.
It's going to be about 16 feet total with the little cut water sticking out the front.
Everything that's original on the hull has pretty much been changed entirely, other than the V-bottom. Down here, this shape that protrudes goes along the perimeter of the boat is our bustle, and that's filled with compact foam to make it more buoyant and to stabilize it.
We originally were going to have 2 masts and make it a cat catch, but after our first float test, based on how it was sitting in the water, Roger and John both agreed and decided that a single mast was preferred. And with that single mast, it will fold down, so we will be able to, because of the chine runners that Vic was talking about, and because we don't have a centerboard, and now because our single mast pivots, we'll be able to go under really low bridges in really shallow water, come up really close to the shore, or even onto a beach if we like, and that gives us the most flexibility.
The Microcruiser concept is you are just trying to be one step above minimalist cruising. We wanted more than that in this boat, so we took Matt Layden's concept and we basically just took the minimal amount of space we could so that they could have the option of having a permanent sleeping place in the boat, inside and out. In nice weather they can sleep in the cockpit. In bad weather, they can actually sleep down inside the boat.
What we've done is we've put in a sleeping cabin by just putting a deck on that has about 3.5 feet of space underneath it, so that this small fore cabin, you actually slide your body under the deck sole. So there's an independent fore cabin and an independent aft cabin, both of which we're hoping will be watertight. Because that's how we've designed them. And then the deck sole, the center area, is where we're going to be sailing mostly. the original plan when we first started building, or I guess plan is a strong word, the original hope and dream when we
Idea,
first,
you
right,
know,
when we
keep it
first started
simple.
building, was to get the boat towed to the Chesapeake Bay and sail it down to Florida via the ICW, the Intercoastal Waterway. That was the original hope. But at this point, it's taken 5 times longer than I thought, but that's fine. These things normally do. And Roger's going to be towing me down with the boat this weekend. So the boat will be in Florida. He's getting us connected with a friend of his, a gentleman who has his own boat shop, so that anything else that might need to be tweaked or any questions we have a resource. And then right now it'll just be sailing the boat around Florida, around Anna Maria Island, or maybe down the coast where my dad lives, and getting really comfortable with it so that we can actually take a real trip.